And here we go in the southwest corner as the green Zerg, hailing from Team Evil Geniuses. Give it up for IdrA. And cross positions in the northeast of Shakura's Plateau, we've got our red Terran hailing from OGS. He is the STC.
And IdrA is the only two remaining non-Koreans left in the tournament now. We have to keep that in mind. As the next one's obviously Stefano, which we'll be going into very, very shortly. But having Ret getting knocked out in the round of 8, you know, he's got a lot to ride on right now. He's got a lot to achieve, and I'm sure that a lot of people are rooting for him back home. And the STC is really showing us that since he's come back from the military, since he's been training again in the past couple of months, that he is getting back to where he previously was back in the beta days. And that was literally the last he was known. Nobody knows much about him whatsoever.
And I mean, a lot of these guys like riding a bike. You know, obviously you practice up your mechanical skills, decision making. The metagame is constantly changing, so knowing the inner workings of that, but also the beauty of it is in some of the patch changes that happen, it's not like you have to suddenly through osmosis get every single metagame change or patch change that has happened over that amount of time. So he seems to be adjusting quite well back into the game, and here we are going to have the hatch going down. Doesn't look like we're going to have any sort of early aggression. In fact, we're going to see the exact opposite out of the STC this time.
He's not really playing Terran versus Zerg. He's playing Terran versus IdrA.
Yeah.
So I mean, he knows exactly the style, because the way that Zergs are playing recently, and especially IdrA, they do the same build every single time. You know, you don't really see that I'm going to keep you honest build out there from a player like IdrA. He just likes to rely on his mechanics, and he's going to play as standard as can be. So he's going to go for command center first here. Though if IdrA scouts Sicily, which he is sending out a drone to do so, he does like to take gas at a regular timing around 18 supply, and he could turn on the heat. He can get gas. He can even build a bailing nest, and we are having 2 barracks to actually wall this wall off here, and I'm sure that he'll be wanting to lift them up and place them on the lower ground very, very shortly.
Yep, drone going to be making his way over here, and then we'll see what IdrA's going to decide to do. Still no gases down, but this is a style that we've seen a lot more Zergs begin to adapt as they go for this gasless opening and eventually get their speed and then their tech going. Drone's going to make it up here. Barracks are not quite done yet, and supply depot is down, but he's not even going to go inside. He's going to quickly scout, sees both of the barracks, and of course he sees the command center, so he's got a good idea. Now, what will be interesting is what does IdrA do from here? We've seen him sometimes maybe even expand off of this as well, knowing that he's going to have somewhat of a window here. So we are going to have 2 racks pumping out Marines, but will that equate to aggression? Well, with the Lings out, I just can't imagine that happening.
I think he's going to go ahead and expand. I mean, he hasn't even taken his gases yet, and that would be the option if he didn't want to expand. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be expanding very, very shortly. He still could go 2 base layer, but he needs to start taking double gases if he's going to do that and leave it so late. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a drone go out to expand very, very shortly. Meanwhile, only 1 gas has been taken from the STC here, and he is saving up now. I wonder if he's just going to go down and throw that factory down and really concentrate on his own minerals, to be honest. And there is the double extractor going down, really. So we are not going to see a very fast third base, I don't think. We're just going to go see Greg basically go up to the layer as soon as possible now.
Yep, and he's throwing down both of his gases as well. We've got SCV still trying to get through, possibly sneak up here and get a quick scout on what is going on. And this SCV is going to be sneaking in there. Meanwhile, 2 more racks behind this, so a very bio-heavy army about to come out. Queen is going to get a couple more hits, trying to deny any vision from coming out here, and there's actually not much to deny, but even the fake out of saying, oh, I'm trying to stop you from seeing my tech that doesn't exist can play into the hands of IdrA. Of course, at this point, he's going to finally kill that SCV with the Lings. And back at the STCs, he did go ahead and start creating a wall, put the bunker down because he saw the gases. He didn't see a bailing nest, but he kind of going through the head all the different things that could happen here. And you see 2 more gases at the natural as well.
And basically what we're seeing now from the STC is, well, actually I just want to talk about the overloads for IdrA first of all. He has one overload right now, which is on the natural area. And you can see if gases are taken, but you won't really see gases, well, the third and fourth taken for a while yet. And on the other hand, that's the only overload there is. So IdrA's not actually going to get a scout of the main base whatsoever. He doesn't know if there's a factory, if there's a starport or anything early on. But what there is 4 barracks now and an engineering bay. We're going to be hitting a +1 timing attack with combat shields, probably with stim as well, just before 10 minutes as the mules start to pop. And it's going to be really dangerous, and I love that right now that IdrA has thrown down that bailing nest. Just as the layer's about to finish, we can go directly into bailing speed if he wants to. But the thing is, IdrA's been playing a very, well, he hasn't been getting bailings, he doesn't get the bailing speed because he likes to go for this heavy mutalist style. So if he does go for this heavily mutalist style, this timing is going to be pretty tough to deal with.
Yeah, and well, does IdrA actually see it there? It looks like this large group of Marines was seen. Oh, and it looks like these Lings, they're slow. Speed is going to be hitting. He might go in for some sort of potential or attempted a counterattack, but nothing's going to happen here. Kind of a scary moment because the Baneling nest is just about to pop. SCV's going to see that it is not done yet, and that may prompt the Marines to say, oh, we might have a window of opportunity to come in here and attack.
I think the STC's in trouble, to be honest with you, because there's so many Lings here, and if Greg gets a full surround here, depends on the position of the STC, but Greg is going to go in. Will he be able to get position?
He does get a minor surround, but is not totally complete. He takes out a few Marines here, and it is dark inside, and all the Lings go, and I still feel like maybe leaving a few back, getting those Banelings up would have been a smart decision, but the full surround couldn't come out there. He did kill a lot of Marines. Looks like an Overlord's going to go down as it gets caught from vision. Thing is, there's more Marines behind this, but I mean, maybe it's just IdrA's decision because he doesn't want to use the gas.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, actually. He doesn't really want to use the gas for bailings. I mean, he's getting bailing speed anyway, just in case he has to, but he really wants to save the gas as much as possible for the Mutalist. He has to build 5 bailings, especially when he doesn't have any map vision at all. He doesn't see if there's more waves coming in. He does have an Overlord on the left-hand side, finally, of the base of the STC, but he doesn't see that really fast third command center either. He doesn't see that the factory has a reactor, and we're going to be going for Medivacs very, very shortly. And this style that we're seeing from the STC is becoming fairly regular within this matchup, within this metagame, is that you go for a very, very heavy Marine force, you get Medivacs out, and you really abuse the fact that there are not that many bailings early on, and then you start to switch in the factory and switch up getting siege tanks out later on.
Well, with the third, with the third going down now, and some potential extra gas here for IdrA, he's also getting the Baneling speed, trying to get that creep spread out. There's this third coming down from the STC, and I really like that. It is in a place that at least can be somewhat defended by the STC. It's, of course, not quite as spread out as if you were to take this one down here. But this all-bio forces, sometimes these seem like really, really scary going up against the Zerg because it seems like one proper or improper, I guess, control or a great Baneling hit, or as we've seen all weekend long, potentially some burrowed Banelings can completely wreck a strategy like this.
And we do have a macro hatch now in the main base for IdrA, so his production's going to be up there, especially if he keeps hitting his lava injects. He's very good at doing that. And the Mutalists are out now. 10, with 2 in production, we're going to have 10 out, and they're going to start to harass. And because this is a very early third base, got to be so careful with Mutalists. Because this is a third base, he really doesn't have that many, that much units to defend with. So, and he is very spread out as well. So it really depends. The turret placement, though, is really good, and there is a lot of them. And without any harassment from these Mutalists, he's going to be behind, and the STC is trying to flank. Will he be able to get these Mutalisks?
Oh, he's going to try. One does go down. IdrA responds, and Overlord will fall as well. And seeing the creep, there's the scan. The Lings come out. He's got to get some good Banelings hit. A good split here by the Terran player, but it does look like he will get him out. They're cleaning up quite a few of these Marines. The Mutalists are moving in as well, and there's a huge hit. And IdrA taking a decisive supply lead here for the first time. He may also be able to run and rummage through this third base that will shut it down.
He's building nothing but units, DJ Wheat. He's stopped at 50 drones. He's got so much in terms of army, and he's like, you took a really early third, man. That is really greedy. I am not going to let you roll over me like this. And that is what he's done, and that was really smart, not to over-drone and just take it like we've seen Greg do many times before. He's actually turning the game around, and he's calling the shots.
I mean, the timing of his third base worked out quite well. He is just now taking that third gas, which means he's going to be able to split between the mutas and the banelings a little bit better. He's up to about 15 mutas and holding on to about 9 banelings. Here we've got the mutas now making the way around the other side. A small group of Marines will get taken out. Another advantage going over towards IdrA, as he'll also take out. Oh, he won't. That medevac gets away with its life, but more importantly, just taking out any of those small little collective groups of units can be incredibly beneficial in these type of engagements.
I'm surprised, actually, I'm surprised that Greg, or the drop is spotted now in the bottom right-hand side. We'll pick off an overload. I'm surprised IdrA hasn't got an active queen spreading creep. He actually only has one in the middle of the one active creep tumor, which is not that big, but the STC caught out of position once more again, and IdrA's gonna jump on top of this.
And it looks like he's gonna have no problem cleaning this up. The banelings are a little bit behind. This is a 1 missile turret. The mutas will take care of it, but going inside the main, no siege, and he is indoors now. Huge baneling hit, so it does look like the Marines will clean this up, but the bunker is gone now, and as the Marines fall, suddenly the mutas may have free reign over the space. There's only 1 more missile turret inside the main. He can start to work on the production, and right now Link's just tearing things apart. +2 is also going to be stopped there in that engagement, and IdrA takes another.
IdrA's macro, IdrA's production is incredible right now. He's really hitting every single lava inject. He's able to build 50 lings at a time. And this drop in the bottom right is in danger. It was spotted as they did kill the overlord. And look, it's going to run into another overlord now. IdrA's going to go for it. And he's going to really turn this game around. From what it looked like, he was on the verge of losing. He has found it. And despite them being unloaded, he's got more than enough mutas to take care of this. And Greg Fields is in a fantastic position. 73 drones compared to 50 SCVs. The STC does have his third base up and running again, but IdrA's got his comfort zone. He's at the right drone count. He's got his upgrades really flowing. 2-2 for the Lings. He's in great, fantastic position, DJ Weed.
And IdrA can completely wreck the natural right here. There, the 1 missile turret that is protecting the mineral line does go down. Now starting to work on that refinery. It is burning to the ground. More mutas joining in on this party. And the Marines, like, just trying to find some avenue of getting damage done. And we have another drop up here in the north as the medevac comes into a fairly well defended base up here in the northwest. These Marines might be in for a bit of a surprise. In fact, going quite far. It's like, no, it was a bad idea. And there we go, a complete pickup. And will he just possibly take it again in through the top? I think he will.
Mulas continue their harassment on the natural, killing a lot of SCVs here, killing all the turrets, really slowing down the gas income here for the STC, forcing him to a lot of Marine-only forces. And that drop is still hanging about at the top left, and a few units in the center of the map as well, which are going to get surrounded. IdrA is chasing down with all these Lings. Mulas as well are trying to kill this little squad of Marines, and if they fall down, there's nothing protecting these tanks either.
Oh no, yeah, there's absolutely nothing. And I mean, a few banelings in here would help too, and here they come, save the day. There is a Thor out, but he's going to get Magic Box almost immediately. He's on move command! And the Thor goes down without even a single shot onto the mutas.
There is a drop onto IdrA's third base, doing a lot of damage, but it's not going to be cleaned up. And even though IdrA's doing a lot of damage to the natural now, that drop is actually doing a lot of damage to IdrA's economy. He's lost a lot of drones here. He's losing mulas, and Queen looks like he's going to solo this squad a bit back up with these mulas. But at the same time, the production tab never stops making units. There are so many units just streaming out. Look at the mini-map. There is just so much stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, it seems like IdrA can just pick and choose. He can completely dismantle this third base. The natural has been attacked several times, and he's poised in a position to continue attacks. There's like big morph of banelings there, and of course, you know, as they roll in, the damage that they can do. As long as he can get rid of the siege tanks up here on the high ground, he'll be able to get those banelings in a position, no problem.
And his upgrades are just so much better than the STCs. He's about to be 2-0 with mulas and 2-2 with the banelings and with the zerglings. And once again, the STC in a bit of a dangerous position coming out, but he has to be. He needs to get control of this game, otherwise he will lose it. He's playing really well, but he's just been on the back foot, and IdrA comes in once again. These SCVs are under a lot of danger. Even the tank potentially could get picked off, and there is another drop at the north side, but to what end is this going to do? Because that's another 7 Marines he doesn't have with his army.
And I mean, the muta control so far has just been impeccable here by IdrA. He senses a drop. It is up here in the north side. It looks like the repair on the command center, the orbital command. 1 refinery does go down. The Marines keep on trying to get in here and do some damage, but I mean, oh, hold on, drop inside the top of IdrA's baseline. It is in the northwest position. The Marines do go down. Going to do some damage from the inside.
And there's not enough medivacs because he's been starved so much. He just only has 1 currently, and that's not enough. And the Mutas are going to clean this one up at the left. He's losing another one. These Marines, look at them, they're all over the place with so little health. These must be Americans. There are no health insurance for these guys.
I have nothing to say to that, actually. So well done, Apollo. Well done. And you're right. Actually, if you saw that, he stemmed them so many times. These Marines began in the green, and they went down to the yellow all the way to the red. And as you said, we do have a drop inside the main, and these are the kinds of drops that can be really scary because anytime you can interrupt or take out the tech, and he is going after the spawning pool. I do believe he was trying to go for adrenal glands, and that does stop that. But here's the big attack. Baneling's moving in. Not a big hit right there, and he does manage to stop that. He didn't, no, okay.
Yeah, the thing is,
just make sure like the mutas didn't just dissolve in that battle. But
no,
yeah,
they're in the center of the map now. The Corruptors are on the way. Broodlords are going to be here very, very shortly. There's a lot of infestors as well, and the TheStC is slowly kind of stabilizing here. He's getting control of the game, but fungal growth.
Fungal goes down. I was about to say, the moment that fungal hits, I'm not sure how much longer this game's going to last. The fungal hit. A lot of Marines died, but it looks like the game will continue to last at least a little bit longer. Oh, Baneling's from the side. Hello! They take out the missile turret and a bunch of SCVs, but from the main, there's nothing to mine out here, so this is one of only 2 mining bases. Also, the orbital command takes a lot of damage right there. Although the TheStC has been, he is the guy that will continuously just get, hit in the face and fall down and get back up and say, hey, give it to me again, because he continues to be aggressive. He continues to have an army. He continues to drop. He just frankly is not giving up.
And IdrA is coming in once again with these Mutas doing a lot of damage here. There is a drop at the same time at the left-hand side. Relentless with these drops. There are 3 spine crawlers. Queen is AWOL. Don't know where that's gone. But these 3 spine crawlers are going to be enough to do this, especially with the Mutas coming in at the same time. But these Broodlords, there's just getting too many of them. And now IdrA's going to engage here. Fungal growth on the Marines.
Yeah, and I mean, with the Broodlings coming on and the Fungals and the Siege, I mean, what are these units going to do? Run away? They have nowhere to go. Eventually, of course, the Mutas making their way over. Their favorite snack is unsieged siege tanks, and they're going to have a nice little smorgasbord of lunch here as everything is going to go down in the middle. And GG, IdrA takes game 2.
And I was speaking to Sir Scooch recently, and they were telling me how EG have been really working hard on the mentality of players within their team, and that is something incredible to see, because we've seen many times through IdrA in many different tournaments is he'll lose a game like we saw to a simple mistake or to a simple aggressive build from the TheStC, and then will collapse in the second game, will not stay strong, and he's looked really good there, just like we saw him 2-0 Thorzane earlier, 2-0 Artist.
Yeah, now, I mean, to me, Apollo, this sets up a really interesting potential for a third game. There we see MC giving some IdrA killing tips. But yeah, the one thing that's interesting is like, okay, your TheStC, game 1, that was like the easiest game I played all tournament, because it's executed nicely, it surprises opponent.
Yeah.
It becomes a very, like, you only have 1 game. We're on equal playing field. Does he go for an early, super aggressive strategy that has a high probability of possibly ejecting IdrA from the tournament? Or does he look at what happened in the last game and go, gosh, but if we play to the point where he gets mutas and banelings and lings, like what? I don't know.
Oh,
hard
the
to
Shattered
say.
Temple. I really thought he'd choose Zelnaga Fortress. That map is something that IdrA hasn't really practiced that much. And it is really Terran favored as well. And we've seen the Korean Terran players really use those maps. You can see Greg thinking, you know, why did you choose Shattered Temple? It is a rather defensive map. And I am interested to see what's going to be going on here.
Well, it's also one you can proxy racks and,
you can
like
racks.
not even know where his opponent is and still be okay with it. So. By the way, I would like the crowd to get loud, make some noise for all the people who are watching on the streams to remind them that they're not here. All 65,000 of them.
Look at that.
Currently enjoying it.
65,000 people, each one of them in their own bedrooms.
65,000 people online. That's what it sounds like to be here. That's what it sounds like. Thanks, guys, for coming out. And we are going into game 3 shortly.
Yes, it's going to be good. And IdrA is probably thinking about all the different potential builds that can be used against him here. And I'm sure he's going to be going into it. Defensive. This is going to be a good game no matter what happens here, DJ Wheat. But, you know, the non-Korean hope here is IdrA. IdrA and Stefano, the only two left.
And there's still some good signs out there. I see the get your print screen button ready. There's a Redditor, no doubt about it, right there. And yeah, so thanks to all the fans that have come out, supported here. Been absolutely remarkable weekend.
This has been such a good event. It's been really good.
It's been great casting with you, by the way, sir.
It is good, DJ
rather
Wheat.
Enjoy it.
It is good. Yeah. It is good.
It is good.
Anna, do you like us working together? Is it?
We'll have to do that again sometime, yeah.
Well, maybe.
Let's do it. Guys, we're going into game number 3. Make some noise